It's easy to think you're being good with money. Maybe you've cut out your daily coffee spending, stopped buying clothes you don't need, and even switched to supermarket own brands. But even then, there's a good chance you're still wasting money in ways you don't even notice. Not on purpose, just out of habit, convenience, or just because that's how it's always been. Most people don't realize how much money they're quietly bleeding out through small, dumb decisions that add up to big amounts over months or years. We're not talking about the obvious stuff here, like gambling or buying a new car you can't afford. We're talking about the sneaky small money leaks, the kind of habits that feel totally normal, until you sit down and look at the numbers. So let's break down 7 of the dumbest ways people waste money, without even realizing they're doing it. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps this small channel grow. First up is subscriptions, the silent killer of modern budgets. From streaming services to gym memberships to cloud storage you forgot you signed up for in 2019, it all adds up. The real problem isn't that subscriptions exist, it's that they're designed to be set and forget. And that's exactly what people do. You paid $9.99 here, $5.49 there, and suddenly you're spending $80 a month on services you barely use or don't even realize you're subscribed to. The gym membership you keep just in case you go next week, the second streaming platform you only signed up to for that one show, these things chip away at your bank account in the background. And because they're monthly, they feel small. Until you zoom out and realize that over a year, you spent nearly $1,000 on things you wouldn't even notice if they disappeared. Cancelling takes 5 minutes, if that. Most people just never get around to it. Allocate half an hour to sit down and go through your subscriptions, and you'll likely find at least one you can cut out. The second big money waster is brand loyalty. It sounds harmless, maybe even a good thing, but sticking to the same bank, insurer, energy company, or phone provider just because you've always been with them is often a terrible financial move. These companies count on that loyalty. They bank on you not comparing prices, not switching, not asking questions. And while new customers get deals, you're quietly paying more for the exact same service. In the UK, this is especially common with insurance. Car insurance and home insurance premiums creep up every year if you auto-renew. But if you run the exact same details through a price comparison site as a new customer, you'll often get a much cheaper deal. Same company, lower price. You're effectively paying more just because you didn't click a button. That's money straight down the drain. Third is emotional spending. This one's sneaky because it feels justified at the time. You've had a bad day, so you treat yourself. You're bored, so you go shopping. You're celebrating, so you go big. There's always a reason, but over time, these little things add up. Whether it's takeaways, impulse Amazon orders, or random treats that end up in a drawer. Emotional spending is one of the biggest unspoken ways we throw money away. And because each moment feels isolated, we rarely connect the dots. But if you're regularly cheering yourself up with your wallet, that habit could be costing you thousands every year, and leaving you no happier than before. Then there's wasteful food habits. Not just takeaways, though that is a big one. It's things like buying groceries with good intentions and letting half of them rot in the fridge, or buying ingredients for one recipe and never using them again, or shopping without a plan and grabbing whatever looks good, which often means overspending and underusing. The average household in developed countries throws away over $700 worth of food in a year. That's money literally in the bin. And it's usually not because people want to waste food. It's because we don't plan. A 5-minute meal plan and a shopping list can slash waste and save money instantly. But again, it's the kind of thing most people don't even think about. Number 5 is letting lifestyle creep go unchecked. This one's subtle but costly. You start earning a bit more money, and without realizing it, your spending quietly increases higher as a percentage than your pay increase. You upgrade your phone, you get a nicer car, you go out to eat more often, nothing crazy, but slowly the extra money that could have gone into savings, investments, or paying off debt just disappears. And the worst part is, it feels normal. You're not being reckless, but you're not building wealth either. You're just treading water at a slightly more expensive level. It's why so many people earn more over time and still feel broke. The goal isn't to live like a hermit, it's to consciously decide what upgrades actually improve your life, and which ones are just things to spend money on because you can. Don't let poor financial habits be driven by increased income. Moving on to another dumb money drain, buying cheap instead of buying smart. We've all done it. You need something, a pair of shoes, a backpack, a new computer, and you go for the cheapest option. It feels like a win in the moment, but cheap things often break, underperform, or wear out faster, so you buy again and again. And suddenly you spent more money replacing something multiple times than you would have done if you just bought a quality version up front. The phrase buy cheap, buy twice exists for a reason. It's not about being fancy or buying a luxury brand, it's about recognizing when spending a little more saves you a lot over time. Whether it's clothes, tech, or appliances, smart buying beats cheap buying every time. Last but arguably the most important is ignoring your financial future. This isn't one people think about enough, especially if you're young, because it feels like something you'll get around to. But not saving and investing, especially when you're young, is arguably the most expensive mistake you can make. Not because you're spending wildly, but because you're missing out on growth. Every year you delay opening a pension, an investment account, or even just putting aside savings is a year your money isn't working for you. And when you look at the long-term impact, the compounding, the interest, the opportunity cost, it can be massive. The problem is, because it doesn't feel like a loss right now, we don't treat it like one. We focus on what's urgent instead of what's important. But the people who are financially secure later in life, they didn't get there by accident. They started earlier, even if it was just small amounts. It's not spending that's the problem, it's spending without a plan that costs the most. So those are the 7. 7 everyday ways people waste money without thinking. Not because they're irresponsible, but because it's incredibly easy to do. Subscriptions we forget, brand loyalty we don't question, emotions we soothe with spending, food we waste without meaning to, lifestyles we upgrade without thinking, cheap things we buy over and over, and futures we ignore because they feel far away. The good news is, every one of these habits is fixable. You don't need to become a financial expert or live like a complete minimalist. You just need to bring a bit of awareness to how you spend. Because when you start noticing these small mistakes, you can fix them. You can make small, smart decisions that put money back in your pocket. Not through massive effort, but by simply being a little more intentional. Most people don't go broke from one big bad decision, they go broke or stay broke from 1,000 tiny ones they didn't necessarily realize they were making. But once you start to see them, you can change them. And that's where the real financial freedom can start to be built. If there's one takeaway from all this, it's that money problems aren't usually about maths, they're about behavior. You don't need a higher income to stop wasting money. The same paycheck can feel tight or comfortable depending entirely on how intentional you are with it. Change doesn't require a lottery win or a promotion. It starts with small choices you can make right now. Start with one thing, cancel one subscription, price check one bill, or track 1 month of spending. Momentum builds fast once you see progress, and over time those small fixes free up money you can save, invest, or use to reduce stress in your life. Have you ever noticed yourself making one of these mistakes, and how did you correct it? Let me know down in the comments, and please do subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Why not check out this video next? If you have an interest in tech as well as finance, I've left a link to my other channel down in the description.